Welcome, Ancients, to episode 5 of the Misadventures of Stank and Bohdrum Handbook, Ernst Bohdrum. Ernst Bohdrum is a people's voice, a storyteller, as is his wife and his parents and their parents and so on. In Great Bern, storytelling is a family vocation and has been ever since anyone can remember, long before the Protectorate was established. Many of our people have what can only be described as an addiction to stories. Bohdrum himself comes from the village of Barnby in what I think you called Yorkshire, though his family hail originally from Royland, an island off the west coast of Great Bern. For many years he and his wife Cora, like all other people's voices, made their living off the stories retrieved from our dig sites, the ones we allowed them to take, of course. These stories Bohdrum keeps in his village librarium, which, under decree of the Protectorate, should only ever be accessed by the people's voices themselves. Ernst Bohdrum is a simple man. He doesn't understand technology, he doesn't understand logic, in fact he doesn't understand anything much outside of his extremely pastoral surroundings. He still measures things in hands, and when required to solve any practical problem, he tends to rely on what he has learned from his stories, or the meagre skills he's picked up from his hobbies of fishing and gardening. Like many of our people, Bohdrum's understanding of the world is entirely shaped by the stories written by your civilization. He seems to think that what with your incredibly advanced technology and knowledge, everything else you left behind can be believed as well. This is, of course, another thing he is entirely wrong about. So most of us in the Protectorate were extremely bemused when Zoetic John, our ever-progressive head of state, announced he was inviting Bohdrum to discuss a new work arrangement. Zoetic had grown concerned that our people's reliance on ancient myths and legends, much as it distracted them from more dangerous knowledge, was opening too great a divide between us, and that if our nation was to properly develop and maintain its standing, we should share with them at least some knowledge about how the world really works. He even went so far to suggest that they might benefit from sharing some of our technology, leastways the technologies we could trust them to handle without getting themselves killed. Of course, Bohdrum leapt at this opportunity. He likely saw it as a chance to travel to exciting new places with one of our top ambassadors and pick up a few more entertaining tales of dubious authenticity. But many of us in the Protectorate were worried. Sharing more information and technology with the public not only flies in the face of our main purpose of protecting them from it, but also gives them license, perhaps in a few cases even the understanding, to start creating their own devices. Where would it end?
Where would it end? Where would it end? Would we now have to spend precious resources on quality controlling their inventions as well as our own?
But Zoetic assured us that a strict responsibility would be placed on Captain Dubrovsk not to burden this storyteller with too much learning at once. Stank would act as Bohdrum's censor, allowing him access to only the knowledge or technology he and the rest of his people could likely handle safely. Which, let's face it, is not much. Still, many of us questioned why he would choose Stank for this task. For all his reputation and achievements as an ambassador, Dubrovsk is an outsider, a Yugov, the one member of the Protectorate born outside of Great Bern. In the next episode of the Misadventures of Stank and Bohdrum Handbook, we'll consider the character of Captain Stank Dubrovsk and why he in particular might have been chosen to partner with Ernst Bohdrum. For more information on our stories, including how to buy them, visit garethmlong.com/writing. That's garethmlong.com/writing. garethmlong.com/writing. garethmlong.com/writing.